He's the #1 influence on everything we've ever done.
From a meatloaf to a flea, Chef's influence was legendary.
I was a 155-pound folk singer. And really just kind of going nowhere. I was doing covers of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
He basically started my entire music career.
So Chef was cooking his famous meatloaf. And he set it down in front of me and he said, I want you to eat this, I want you to gain weight. And I started eating it and he goes, that's it. You gain weight, we'll call you Meatloaf.
That's right.
I first met Chef in the summer of 1975. I got a gig as a roadie on the Foghat Fool for the City tour.
Chef provided the touring rock stars with a hot meal and often something more substantial.
On the road, Chef was our chef.
Indirectly, we all try to emulate him. Personally, I never purposely thought, oh, I'll try and emulate that part of Chef, but because it was too obvious, you know.
Years ago, back when I was living in Mississippi and Chef was living in Memphis, Tennessee, you know, he played piano also. He helped me write the first rock and roll record in history, Rock at 88. He just had great ideas, man.
You and me and her, simultaneous you and me and you, simultaneous loving, baby, 2 or 3.
I used to follow his pelvic thrusts as a kind of like a metronome.
And he put the roll in rock and roll.
Everything I've ever done has pretty much been a direct theft of Chef's genius.
When we first got started playing and making music, we weren't really good at writing original music, so we would just basically steal from Chef's catalog.
All the stuff you hear me do came off Chef's tape.
I think that's illegal.
Chef helped name many bands, or rename them, actually. You know, I mean, they all start out with a name. It's not like hey, you got no name. And just, you know.
Chili Peppers thing was his idea. First of all, we're sort of stumbling around. We were originally called Tony, Flo, and the Miraculously Majestic Masters of Mayhem. And Chef came in one day and we were playing. And he was like, hey, you boys, I'm out. He just told us, I'm out here in the back cooking with Red Hot Chili Peppers. And we were like, what a great idea for a band name.
He digs on the food names, you know. He did hot tuna, you know. He just named them after a dish. Hot tuna. They actually wanted to call them hot tuna with peas. They just went hot tuna, cut off the peas part. It's easier on a marquee, you know what I mean?
It's funny because Joe had told me a similar story about how the Clash got their name.
Chef came in and he looked at us and everybody was wearing like crimson and mauve and lime yellow. And he went, oh, you guys, your clothes, they just clash. And that's the moment that we said, we're not going to be the Gentlemen anymore. We're going to be the Clash. And from that moment on, everything changed for us.
Just Chef, man. Chef just had this vibe, you know.
Just being able to tap into Chef's idea of what art is, you know, it was as close to God as I've ever been.
He really make my music sound real good, and he don't even know it. Thank you, Chef. I love you.
Next, Chef packs up his spatula and leaves the music business.
Chef, where are you? We're waiting for you to come back.
Get off my property, you brain-eating zombie bastard!
South Park is brought to you by Ninja Shadow of Darkness by IDOS Interactive.
Jeffrey? Jeffrey? Jeffrey?
Survival will become second nature, especially after 10 levels of deadly pitfalls, evil warlords, and the occasional freakish monster.
Jeffrey!
Ninja from IDOS Interactive.
PlayStation.
Wow, $1.75 for a cup of joe?
It's the 90s. Everything's out of whack.
Not so fast. I know how you can get all your long-distance calls for under $1.
Oh, I heard about that. You dial 10-10-220, and all your long-distance calls from home up to 20 minutes cost just 99 cents.
Now, there's an informed consumer.
What happens after 20 minutes?
It's only 10 cents for each extra minute.
Well, you gotta sign a contract.
You've been hurt, haven't you? There is no contract, nada.
Yeah, you just dial 10-10-220-1, and then the number.
Bingo. A little sanity in an otherwise insane world. Coffee's up.
Critics are getting a kick out of Rush Hour.
Watch out! I'm Michael Jackson, you Tito.
Time magazine says it's like a fortune cookie with good news inside.
Don't move!
It's the best comedy of the year.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
2 thumbs up.
Do that again.
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker are terrific together.
You ain't the only one with quick hands, are you?
Rush out to see Rush Hour.
We can hang in my crib. I will show you my hood.
What the hell did you just say?
Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Make an appointment with the doctors of Mercy Point, a hospital in space.
As soon as you give up hope, so does the patient.
Where the future of medicine is taking shape right before your eyes. And the future of these two.
Drew, what the hell are you doing here? You gotta know, I worked my butt off to make it this far.
And the future of these two.
I got out of rehab a long time ago, and I don't need you and Halen circling me like vultures, just waiting for me to fail.
We'll have everyone talking on an all-new Mercy Point. Only on UPN.
Well, Chef's influences are, uncountable, really. And
music was just absolutely kick-ass, man.
I tend to hum Chef's music in my head quite often.
While no official recordings were ever made of Chef's music, bootlegs of his legendary sound do exist.
First time I heard Chef was on a bootleg of Love Gravy.
Expressing love so sweet.
I mean, this boot was passed around from engineer to engineer for like 2 decades, man. They laid it down on reel to reel, all right, and then they pressed it to vinyl, they pulled it back down onto an 8-track, then a cassette, then a CD, and now it's been remastered to that. Oh!
Somebody was in my car one day and they had a Chef tape. They put it in, and I said, "What the hell is this?" And it was Chef.
Like all true masters, he's always been slightly ahead of his time, so people haven't really understood his complexities until years later.
From punk to metal, the 80s changed the music scene.
You know, back when me and the guys from Twisted Sister were starting out, there was this guy around the scene, Chef. And he was such an inspiration to us in our music. We drew so much, we took so much from him. He got us pointed in the right direction, and then he just disappeared.
Well, I was moving on up in the business, when along came that Twisted Sister crap, and I just went on and quit the music business.
I'm glad he quit. I'm glad he quit, though. I'm glad he quit the music, because he gave us all a chance, because we had no chance before.
Chef, where are you? We're waiting for you to come back.
A disillusioned Chef headed west.
I was heading to Las Vegas to work at Circus Circus at the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Sadly, a career under the buffet big top was not to be.
My car ran out of gas in South Park. Well, I took a job to earn some gas money, and after a while, I kind of liked it, and I decided to stay.
The biggest misconception about Chef.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Is that he's the only black person in South Park.
People assume he's a black man, or I should say Afro-American, because obviously he's dark in color. But Chef's parents were actually 2 Norwegian immigrants. It's just one giant birthmark, at least that's what I'm told.
For years, Chef lived a quiet, small-town life until one day his world was shattered.
I can't bear to see that.
We got a fax from Elton John, and he told us of Chef's problems.
It was such a painful day that day.
So immediately we helicoptered back.
Recognizing each note as his own, Chef didn't demand cold, hard cash. He only wanted his props.
So many songs seem to sound familiar. There are only...
That's completely repulsed that the instrument has such disrespect. It's a great figure.
Harassing capitalist records, the lawsuit against Chef was devastating.
The judgment, which was in excess of $2 million, made an absolute mockery of our judicial system.
Well, when we found out that Chef was having a legal problem, we were just
sickened,
shocked, and stunned.
This was not a case about one chef in one small Colorado town, all right? This was a case that represented we as a people, the Americans as a unit. Liberty, justice, the freedom to do what we want to do, sing if we want to sing, not sing if we don't want to sing, cook, not cook. This is why I went into para-law in the first place.
Mr. Chef, you've been found guilty of harassing a major record label. The full fee of $2 million will be handed over within 24 hours.
They came from all corners of the music world in this Chef's hour of need.
Did you know some of the biggest stars in the music world gathered in South Park to help an old friend? Yes. They put on a benefit concert to be made into an album called Chef Aid. I heard that Chef was thrilled when all his rock pals showed up to help him. He said it's the most fun he's had since Katie Couric. And you know, she loves his Salisbury steak, too.
I know he's going through hard times right now. We're doing this Chef Aid thing for him.
Being part of Chef Aid really, you know, signifies what the '90s are about. You know, it's a group of people coming together to, you know, to support a common goal.
I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it because, you know, anything I can do to help this man out.
You know, I was one of the first people to get on board for the Chef Aid, you know, when I heard he was having all the financial problems. And so here I am. You know, friends ought to be used, not misused, and I'm here for Chef.
I got on the horn. I called the most greatest prominent chefs around. We went to farms, we went to chicken coops, we got the green beans, we got it all. We put on the most elaborate spread you could think of.
Oh, man. I want to tell you something. When people first heard that Chef was in trouble, man, they lined up around the block to help him out, man. I mean, you know, it's been a real rock and soul reunion, you know.
Okay, thanks for coming to Chef Aid, everybody. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Chef Aid was recorded for a CD, which arrives in stores soon and features Rancid,
California sun has sunk, banana.
Joe Strummer,
But it's a rockin' world, make no mistake about it.
Primus, Ozzy Osbourne,
Ain't nowhere to run, 'cause I be running this. Ain't nowhere to hide.
Ween,
Many colors in the homo rainbow. Don't be afraid to let your colors shine.
and Elton John.
Wake up when they smell the coffee.
I just think it's going to be a fantastically successful album. I hope so, you know, for everyone's sake.
If he was to phone me up now and say, clean my boots, I'll be there, man. I'll be cleaning these shoes for him. He's the coolest.
I'd do anything with the Chef, so I may even pawn some of my jewelry for him, you know.
While his music and his meatballs are legendary, Chef's real passion is passion.
You know, he had so many amazing women around him. You know, he was the man of the 70s.
Next on Behind the Menu.
Comedy Central's Night of 1,000 Bleeps presents the New York Friars Club roast of Drew Carey.
Drew Carey is a stupid pig.
The hole of Cleveland.
The boil on the scrotum of a syphilitic donkey. I don't know what the this man does. How big is Drew's
Nobody gives a
But I want to he's so bad.
Go yourself.
That. If that's not enough, don't forget to catch the all-new Bleepin' South Park Halloween special, Wednesday, October 28th at 10, only on Comedy Central.
Let Comedy Central go bleep themselves.
America Online introduces new version 4.0.
There has never been a better time to get online.
The easiest just got easier.
Instant messages.
I can customize my email.
My niece sent me a picture.
If you have a phone line, you can be online.
It's the easiest way to keep up with old friends.
Everyone I know is on it.
We've spent over $1 billion to create a high-speed network, and with 56K, connections are faster than ever.
It's the ultimate local guide.
New 4.0, check it out. It's my connection to the world.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Sign up today.
Well, Gary, you thumbless wonder, what Nintendo sports game would you like to lose today?
There's Fox College Hoops featuring me whipping Gary's rump. 1080, Gary breaks a leg snowboarding. NFL Blitz, Gary on a stretcher. WCW versus NWO versus Gary begging and pleading on his knees, weeping and crying like a... What?
Nintendo Sports, what friends are for.
Lots of words describe the Daily Show news team. Important words like accurate.
Someone is snatching these cows' asses. Unfortunately, they cannot live without their asses.
Even words with 8 letters, like relevant.
We all look back at the 80s and laugh at what we were wearing. Do you cry?
I'm Craig Kilborn, anchor of The Daily Show, and I know lots of words.
The Daily Show, every Monday through Thursday at 11, only at Comedy Central.
Their love started years ago with a simple game.
All of your chips for my hand in matrimony.
Now, Mr. and the former Mrs. LePan are tying the knot again with typical European reserve. And you're invited to the celebration.
Last forever again. The answer is probably no.
It is one hell of a show.
It's the Viva Variety Wedding Spectacular. Season finale Tuesday at 10 on Comedy Central.
He taught us how to make the ladies love the music a little bit more.
He'd be sitting there giving the chicks the one line. As soon as the chef walked in, it was all over, baby. They were running to him.
So he sat me down and he said, Diener, you got to keep it real for the ladies.
Chef was a man who was no stranger to the gentle curves of a ladle or a lady.
Chef's greatest appeal is that he's plugged directly into the spinal core of where love meets funk.
He taught me a lot about sex, too. He taught me about how to make love to a woman. You know, a lot of technique.
When a man loves a woman and a woman loves a man. Actually, sometimes a man doesn't love a woman, but he acts like he does in order to get some action. The magic starts to happen, and the two take off their clothes. That's right.
Because Chef was the man, you know, and we used to hang around Chef just to get near the women, you know.
Oh, man, it's unbelievable. Chef had women falling at his feet. And, I don't know, he'd touch them and they melt, you know. When I grew up, I want to be just like Chef.
After the Chef had finished with the women, they weren't very workable, you know. He thought he'd do a number on them, you know. Very active in his day.
Damn, woman. I just gave you sweet loving 5 minutes ago. You trying to kill me?
Every time I start to hear him, I get a little faint myself. But, I mean, I guess it's true. You know, I think everybody does.
Chef is the heavyweight champion of love.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a guy, you know, I'd do it.
I feel sort of uncomfortable about admitting this, but I have had sex with Chef. I'm not gay, but in his case, I just cannot resist. I cannot resist.
Well, you know what they say. You can't teach a gay dog straight tricks.
Chef can make me come just by sitting across the room and winking.
The Chef's greatest appeal is those big, soft, smooth lips.
Chef's greatest appeal is his Salisbury steak.
If Chef's first love is love, then food is his mistress.
He's got a good piece of beef there, you know, and he likes to cook some good beef, man. He's good.
He made it with these little teeny potatoes, man. I mean, how could a potato get that small?
In my opinion, the essence of Chef is BAM! It's just that. It's BAM!
Oh, I've spent hours and hours and hours trying to get the recipe for the secret sauce out of Chef, and he won't give it up.
Give me a little bit of that pepper. Give me a little bit of that salt.
Yeah, can't you tell? I'm a big fan of Chef's cooking. You can look at this and tell.
My first job in the music business was doing catering for Sly and the Family Stone.
Cooking gigs at many of the era's greatest acts soon followed, and Chef's Dijon potato salad was served at the first Stone Soul picnic and caused many to hurry down.
He makes one of the best briskets I've ever had.
My favorite is Cajun red snapper.
Salisbury steak.
Today it's Salisbury steak with buttered noodles and a choice of green bean casserole or vegetable medley.
The first time that I tasted the Salisbury steak, I started drooling. I had a flashback that maybe there was pork fat in this thing, but it was so delicious. Just, I can't wait to have it again.
Like Famous Amos has the cookies. Well, I think if Chef pursued the Salisbury steak with some conviction, he could be the next Famous Amos of the Salisbury steak world.
If he walks away today, Chef's legacy would be good food, a good heart, and a dirty apron. And those little teeny potatoes, man.
From concert halls to cafeterias, Chef's legacy continues.
Without Chef, we'd be marching up and down the high street to two steps, you know? There wouldn't be any swing. There wouldn't be any grind or bump or funk or punk or soul or anything. Without Chef, we might as well get into mathematics or, you know, accounting.
When we return with Behind the Menu.
Bob and Margaret, married 17 years and still openly discussing their sex life.
So sorry. Are you unable to bear? I mean, is your wife infertile, or is it that you have lazy sperm?
Bob and Margaret, a couple you'll want to watch in bed. Every Monday at 10:30, only at Comedy Central.
These jeans have been constructed out of cotton that was purposely mistreated to make it hard. We've rolled it between slabs of pig iron to make it rough and unyielding to the touch. We dyed it dark as anything made out of dirt can be dyed. All with utter disregard for your dainty, petal-soft skin. Levi's hard jeans. You're welcome.
Here's the score. You've been bitten by a vampire.
In the war against evil,
You're gonna help us find him.
they must do all they can to keep the enemy
Time to kill some vampires.
from a new battlefield.
Open wide, baby.
You can't kill me. James Woods, John Carpenter's Vampires, rated R. Opens everywhere October 30th.
I'm not here because I want to be. No, I have to be. Because the ground can't speak for itself. It can't say to the basketball player, get off me. It can't say to the runner, do you mind you're stepping on my head? These seem like dark days, but there's a song of hope. Nike Tuned Air. Cushioning and stability for the individual athlete, no matter what the sport. This ain't a shoe, it's a pillow. A pillow that's gonna protect our sweet, precious ground. Spread the word.
Available exclusively at Champ Sports and all Foot Locker. So, you know, it seems like there's a big party going on these days. Everybody says, what's your email address? What's your email address? Hey, everybody, I'll just email you. I don't have an email. What's this? You know, like that. And you feel left out. You've been confused. It's too expensive or something. Well, now good news. There's a computer so easy. 10 minutes out of the box. You're on the internet. You're emailing everybody. You're part of the party. It's as easy as you know, licking a stamp.
Jerome Chef McElroy doesn't give many interviews. He's content to let his cooking and his music speak for him.
When I hear him singing, I want to sing like him. He has this deep voice, like, you know, I'm gonna make love to you, baby.
You know, low voice, you know, before Barry White even, you know, he was the man, he was happening.
I was born into a musical family. I'm fluent on guitar, piano, bass, sax, French horn, but my main instrument is voice and balls.
Well, to hear Chef sing gives me feelings of just, wow. Makes me all, I can't even describe how it makes me feel.
It just makes me feel like, you know, real butterfly, just happy.
When I hear Chef sing, I'm transported to an ethereal plane. It's as if I'm swimming inside music. It's as if I lose control of my body. I forget who I am. I leave my body, and I'm just floating.
We're all special in our own way. Everybody's different, but that's okay. Cause even though we might have different color skin, different points of views, be tall or thin, it doesn't mean I can't lay you down, woman, and touch your silky skin. With my love deeper inside you, where no man has ever been.
And when I hear Chef sing, it puts me in puts me in the mood. Gets the juices flowing, gets the hair on the back of my neck up, and you know, other things up.
It's a remarkable thing that one person can bring that much joy to the world.
To paraphrase Sweet, if I may. Chef is like oxygen. You know, you get too much, you get too high, not enough, and you're gonna die. Chef gets you high, baby. You know what I mean? Chef.
Chef's final course has not yet been served, but thanks to the outpouring of love and support from all his friends, and the proceeds from Chef Aid, of course, for now, Chef remains safely behind the menu.
If we didn't have Chef in the world, you know, soul would be governed by Michael Bolton.
Well, I think music without Chef, it may be rock, but it wouldn't be rolling. Like rolling on the river.
Without Chef, it would just be like an empty cereal bowl. Nothing.
Popular music would be unpopular.
The world without Chef would be a horrible, miserable place.
A world without Chef would be like a dull, grey barren moonscape with tumbleweed blowing through, all dry and brittle, and no lush rivers oozing love and sincerity. It would just be unthinkable. Don't horrify me with a question like that.
All y'all need Chef in your life, because he just make it better for the world.
There was only one Beatles, there was only one Chef, there was only one Elvis.
He was the man, he was happening.
I just feel privileged and honored and really, really just amazingly fortunate to have been in his dharma.
They say that, you know, show business, you know, it's all in who you know, and I know Chef.
Oh, Chef was a movie that I scored back in 1971. I won an Oscar for it, and it was about a black private...
No, Chef.
Who? To sit here and listen to this bullshit. Huh? Somebody tell me.
Show your support and look for the Chef Aid CD in stores soon.
Hi, I'm Don Knotts, and you're watching Comedy Central.